All I need is the old Roadshow. I'm good.
Yeah, we should be live here. Kind of. Sometimes it's kind of slow on one end, but yep.
We're live.
Here we go. All right. What's up, everybody in chat? Welcome to W.F.C podcast number 13. We decided to do 13 early. Of course, tomorrow's the 13th, but hey, who fucking cares?
It's not far off. It's only 55.
Right. Didn't work out to do
for me.
Yeah, there we go.
So what's up, Witty?
13 somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, good man. Wondering what big money is.
Yeah. B Money, our guest, who should be jumping in here pretty soon. So, and then we got myself, Mr. Fastback of the WFC, and then we got Coop, Mr. C.
What's going on?
What's up? How y'all been?
Man, good.
Yeah. So,
he's been testing them Shadow of War microtransactions, so we don't have to.
Somebody's got to do it.
I want to know what content they're ripping us out of.
What's up, Mr. UK Dazzers? What's up? Our moderator of the year. He's already got the chat going. We got Nathan, our little brother, our little redheaded brother, stepbrother, Dirty J. HTK was there. Sobski. Dazzers Broski. So what's going on, everybody?
Looks like we got B Money.
Oh,
what is going on?
What's up, B? You're here.
Late, man.
Nah, you good.
Trying to get my son together. You might hear him in the background.
Oh, yeah, you might hear my little one too.
But I'm here, man.
Yeah.
Invite.
I appreciate jumping in with us. Definitely. So how you been?
Doing pretty good, man.
I'm sure you got plenty. I'm sure you got plenty of the game this month, right?
Oh yeah. Plenty of options out there, man. So looking forward to this month and what's coming up. So what about you guys? What have you guys been up to?
Yeah, just Forza fun and Forza and Rico for me the last few days.
Yeah. So B, what are you playing right now?
Mostly Destiny, man. Definitely still has its hooks into me.
Yeah.
I finally got a chance to finish up Horizon. I had set it down because there was just like so many other games coming out to play, so I had set it down for a while and finally finished that up. But mostly Destiny, playing a little NBA 2K18, playing some Cuphead. But Destiny has definitely been the main focus. That grind is real, so that's where I've been at, man.
Yeah.
Yes, man. I just stepped away for a while.
What are you playing as, a warlock, hunter?
Yeah, man. Warlocks all day, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the warlocks out there, all the people braving up to be warlocks. I love the warlock class. I think it's the most versatile, in my opinion. But yeah, grinding right now at level 284, I believe I am right now.
Nice.
In the warlock class, and I got it on PS4 initially because I got the PS4 Pro bundle. But I'm gonna pick it up on Xbox this weekend, so I'll be grinding out over there.
You're gonna help Enrique.
Yeah,
grind.
Man. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I got my warlock up to 278, I think. But I've kind of taken a break because of Forza and Cuphead.
Okay.
But shit, Coop's been grinding, right? Coop, what you got? 3 characters, right?
I got 3. They're all 290s. I think I have my Warlock and my Titan are both like 292, 294. I think I just cracked 290 with my Hunter.
Oh man.
So
you got the serious grind going on. 3 characters. Man.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I was going gangbusters with it, but I had to kind of step back. I haven't played it much. Got on last weekend and got the stuff from Zur, but that was about it. did like a couple public events and stuff, but yeah, I've kind of moved on. I've been, Forza, hitting Forza pretty good, and then now with Shadow War hitting, that game is pretty good too. So, but yeah, the grind is real, man. But yeah, I got a good. There's an easy way you can, you can level up a character, like 265 at level, hitting level 20, like within a matter of hours. I mean, I got a pretty good little system to leveling up characters. It doesn't take much. You do have to count, because that's without really doing the story missions, and you do kind of, in order to get kind of past the next level. Once you hit level 20, then you got to go through and kind of do the campaign to get the max, to kind of hit the sweet spot, if you will. But other than that, you can level up pretty. I mean, I've done both my second and third characters in like 4 hours to level 20.
Oh, okay.
So it's not too bad.
Yeah, and then Witty's 0 characters and 0 levels.
Oh, he's not down for the Destiny grind, man.
Not a minute. Too many other things coming out. October's always been my month for like, what the fuck do I buy?
Yeah.
Because I want to play every single one. Because all single player and they're all my type of shit.
Okay. There's nothing
So,
wrong
Coop,
with that.
what have you been playing, Coop? Besides Forza and Cuphead, trying to think.
Pretty much it. I did. I was on to try to do the quick something I don't normally do, but I was gonna jump in and try to get the quick 1,000 with gamer score with that Gone Home, the Games of Gold that we had, and I don't know, that didn't really work out because the achievements are glitching. The achievements aren't popping on it or something. I got the first one, but then it didn't get the rest of them. But actually, it's not. I mean, it's a kind of a boring game, but decent little story to it, I guess. And yeah,
don't be too fucking like pissed off. I'm sure you can complete that game in about 10 minutes.
Actually, you can complete it in less than a minute. There's actually an achievement for that.
Yeah.
There's an achievement to complete the game in less than a minute, and you can. It's actually not very difficult.
I got to see that.
Yeah. Maka's guys, man.
Yeah,
Maka's got a guide
I
for you.
stream that shit if I ever.
Yeah. Shortest stream ever. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We just, Forza 7, loving that game, and then Shadow War hitting, man. That game's been fun too. It's a little grindy on that one too. They've definitely kind of slowed progress in that to try to get you to buy those stupid war chests or whatever to,
Yeah, I definitely want to get your opinion on that later when we're talking about that for the October games.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
You, Witty? What all you been doing?
Well, I decided to go back to Recar and get that extra 500G, so I've just been doing that last few days. Thankfully, one of them dungeons are a way to be a cheap cunt and go on pipes at top, because I couldn't be asked doing it where you're supposed to dodging all that shit, all them lasers and all that. Fuck that shit. If you can,
and that's a definitive edition, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's bumped my true achievement ratio up a nice good chunk.
Nice.
Seeing as I don't think anyone can be asked going and playing it again.
Did you notice any difference from the last time you played it before the?
Oh yeah, there was good, like a few good improvements, but like you can fast travel from anywhere on map now, and you've got like choice when you go up to them, fast travel stations. You can I think you could swap your team out there before, but you can like change your cars and some other shit. So it does speed up fucking playthrough a little bit. You still gotta go back to your trailer to like use workbench and that lot, which it'd have been nice if you could have done that at any like fast travel spot as well, but oh well. What can you do? So I think they made some good improvements, and it wasn't too hard. 500G, like maybe 3 out of 10 difficulty.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought about jumping on that the other day on my other Xbox.
Just been trying to get on top of that leaderboard again on Forza for community challenge, but well, I failed miserably by 61 thousandths of a second.
Yeah, I know that's crazy. How you crazy and the other guy, y'all were, you know.
Oh no, them two beat me by a big chunk, man. They've got like all you know, assists off and that lot.
But I did like that side by side.
I've still got
video.
ABS on.
That stick figure
that was
you posted, yeah, that was pretty cool. Just seeing how you guys were taking those turns, like holy shit.
Yeah,
they look too easy
for doing that. That was some shit watching it like that.
Yeah, myself, I just been doing you know, jumping back and forth Cuphead, and I've been hitting the Forza 7. So, and that's been about it. You know, just been busy work and, you know, family. And of course, it doesn't help when your wife's car water pump decides to go out either. So that's gonna be fun this weekend.
It's always something, right?
Oh yeah. And that's why I was telling Coop that I'm gonna have to hold back on picking up some of these games this month. You know, since that's gonna cost a little bit, but that's all right. So I figured, I don't know if you got when I sent you a message, B, that one of the subjects we're going to talk about tonight is about some of the hardest games you've ever played.
Yeah.
I'm sure you got a couple of mine. And, and then the next subject, of course, we're going to talk about October. The games of October, I think October is pretty much the fire month of this year. Definitely looking like it's the best month of this year. So. And
October can't be beat.
I don't think so. Plus, you know, you got all the great games, and then you got all the controversy that comes with these games. So it's been pretty interesting. So,
but at the end of the day, let's face it: if someone's not got to fucking play Shadow of War or Forza or any of these other games that come out this month, because I'm sure Assassin's Creed Origins got to have some, you know, kind of microtransaction or some type of shit. So I remember like Assassin's Creed from like I can't even remember which one it was, but about 5 years ago. I like saw and it like had some thing, so you get like double loot from like double dollar from like opening a chest and that lot. It's like, the fuck are you got to even waste your money buying that fucking thing? You can make more than enough money in Assassin's Creed to do everything you need to.
Yeah.
Well, you've got some stupid people that will pay it, so obviously these devs have got to do that shit out there.
As long as there's people paying it, there's a market, and they're going to keep putting it in. So, yeah. Before we jump on all that, let's jump on some of the hardest games that we all, you know, played over the years. So, B, you got a couple in mind you want to throw out?
Yeah, man. For me, it was probably Battletoads. The original Battletoads, man. That game was brutal, and I don't know if it was just brutal because you know what I mean, it was designed to be super hard. If it was just because that's how the game was coded back in the day, and you know what I mean, just ran into difficult things. I mean, a lot of the hit boxes were pretty, you know, big and whatnot. So, you know, it looked like a character wasn't hitting you. But you know, they still make contact and, you know what I mean, kill you or whatever. So Battletoads is probably the number one. Like I never ever finished Battletoads.
I didn't either.
I don't think I did either.
I mean, it was just a pain. You know what I mean? It was brutal. So that's probably my number one.
Yeah, but
how long did it? When did it come out? I'm sorry.
Well, no, Gaiden did all like that back then. Whereas now you can just go on the internet and.
Yeah, there was no YouTube guys. There was nobody, you know, walking through the game or nothing like that. It was just.
There's not a guide that can give you skill. I mean, that game. There's no guide that could get you through that game. I don't care what videos you watch. You can read a book. It ain't gonna help you get through that game.
I fucking missed that one.
No way, man. That game was impossible. You know. Yeah, that was. A lot of those, you know, I was doing, you know, I was brainstorming, looking at these games, and I think that was one of the.
Yeah, it's like one of the number ones.
It was like NES.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely the NES era was probably.
Well,
I faced like my most difficult games.
Yeah,
and I think the first time like
NES.
Oh really?
No, man.
Yeah, you missed out.
An OGX one as well.
Well,
Xbox should have said, not X1. Obviously, I've got an OGX one. It's sat right in front of me.
Yeah. Yeah, but Battletoads, you know what I mean? Some of the early Mega Man games were super difficult as you get into like some of the later levels.
Yeah.
I mean, your precision was key. You know what I mean? Playing some of those Mega Man games. But that's what made them great. You know what I mean? Once you, just like Dark Souls today, you know what I mean? If you were to beat a Mega Man game, that was like a badge of honor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think those are probably my two, you know, from the NES era. I think one of the hardest games I played, and like one of the more current generations, is probably the original Dark Souls. You know what I mean? I didn't know what I was getting into.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the game was just hard or if it was just frustrating me just because I never really had played a game like that before. But I remember like when you first like start the game or whatever, and you're kind of walking down you know, through like the first open area or whatever, and there's like a hill you're supposed to walk up, and then like as soon as you walk up, there's a boulder just comes rolling down and like kills you. I was like, it was so unexpected, and everywhere you turned, like everybody was like one hitting me, and I was out of there. It was just so annoying that it like actually turned me away from the whole Dark Souls series until like more recently. So I don't know if it was just hard, if it was just I wasn't in a mental state to deal with the original Dark Souls, but that was definitely something that was difficult and frustrated me. You know what I mean? You know, trying to jump into it. So those would probably be my top three most memorable, hardest games.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. How'd you like Cuphead?
Oh, I like Cuphead. Cuphead is a great throwback. You know, I tell people all the time, like, you know, it reminds me so much of Contra, and you know what I mean. Of course, my kids, you know, they're 10. My oldest is 10 years old, so like he doesn't know what Contra is. You know what I mean? Like, I could try to go back and teach him or like show him what it is. Like he wouldn't care because like to him the graphics look trash. You know what I mean? Because he's 10 years old, so all the graphics that he's known has been from the 360 era to now, and you know what I mean. He's used to that. So when I try to put like my kids on old school games, they're like they have no interest in it. So it's a great callback. It's something, you know what I mean, that they're interested in. When they see me playing it, they sit down and watch and like, oh, you know, Dad, I want to try. And you know, they get in there and they die a couple of times and they move on, but at least they are interested in the game. And I'm enjoying it, man. I like the difficulty because it's not really difficult. You just have to be a little bit more precise, and it's a platformer, which it's what I grew up on. So, you know what I mean? I'm kind of used to the constant jumping and ducking and, you know what I mean, having to shoot at the same time. So I'm good with that. I'm enjoying it. So I'm looking forward to see what happens in the future with that franchise and what they could possibly do with it. Or if, you know, or if they're happy with, you know, just Cuphead being a standalone product and moving on to something else. So
yeah,
I'm really enjoying it.
What did you reconfigure your controller?
No, I didn't.
Or you did? No.
Yeah,
when I first jumped in there, Coop, I got in there and then, you know, he was like, "Hey, did you reconfigure your controller?" So I ended up putting shooting on the right trigger. And then I put the special on the left trigger.
Yeah.
And then I put dash on X, and then Y was, I think, I can't remember. I think it was the parry, but no, not the parry. I can't remember what Y was, but yeah. So it that felt a little bit better for me.
Right.
Yeah, me too, for sure. You could just hold down the fire button and then worry about the platforming.
Yeah. I'll probably have to do that. That might make it a little easier to get through some of the bosses. You know what I mean? With the
you just hold that trigger down while you're shooting.
Right.
All right, cool. Definitely. So I never did Dark Souls, and maybe one day I might jump in it. But some of those games are just not my cup of tea.
Right.
I don't want to torture myself like that. But I do want to play Bloodborne one day. I want to give that a try. I heard that was kind of like Dark Souls, right? Do you think?
Yeah, it's
difficulty on that.
It's in the same vein. It actually moves a little faster than Dark Souls, but it's not as fast as like Neo. So like all those games are kind of like bundled into the same category, but they all feel a little differently. I think Bloodborne does it the best, to be honest. So if you're gonna try one, that would be the one I would give a go.
Yeah, and another Hellblade was probably the only thing closest to those that I Well, I did play Breath of the Wild. You go into some of those shrines, depending on what level the boss was in there. It did kind of, you definitely had to pay attention.
Yeah.
So Coop, what's up on your list?
Yeah, I mean that was I had this, same as B Money, that Battletoads, man. That was definitely one that I bashed my head. Friends, and I mean, God, I spent hours trying to, beat that game. That was, that was sort of the holy grail of completions. If you ever got, I don't know anybody, none of my friends, none of us ever completed that game. I think my buddy Travis came pretty close, but never did. Contra, that was a big one. Me and my buddy Casey finally finished. We pulled an all-nighter. Must have played that game for like 12 hours straight. No code either. No Konami code on that one. We played it straight and finally beat that one. That was, definitely one of my most memorable completions. Mike Tyson's Punch Out. I mean, man, you got that. I mean, that one,
man, that's a classic.
That one was super tough. I was trying to think that I moved when I first graduated high school. Me and my buddy moved up to moved up to the mountains and snowboard and stuff. And we were super broke. And I had an NES and he had a Sega Genesis. And we only had 2 games for the Genesis. We had Sonic the Hedgehog and we had Echo the Dolphin. Do you guys remember that game?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that game was. Yeah. I mean, like, Echo the Dolphin, this pretty game, dolphin game. That game was impossible, man. That was a freaking hard ass game. I remember just, I don't know, because the last boss, if I remember. I was trying to remember, like, you get to that last boss, and if you didn't beat the boss, it puts you back. Like, that whole last level was just impossible, and you would have to redo the entire level. There was, like, no checkpoints in between. You don't get started. It was like you finally just gave up, like, I cannot do this shit again. That was a head basher, man. That one just drove. I don't think either of us ever did finally ever finish that game. We must, and we didn't have like cable. We didn't, we had like antenna, got 2 or 3. So also all we did was play Sonic and Echo, Some of our old NES, Zelda. We played a lot of Zelda, and that was another one. This Zelda, the Adventure of Link, the second one. It was not the top down one. I don't know if you guys remember. They have it on that NES Classic, on the little Classic edition.
Oh, okay.
Man, that game is legit. That was a tough one. That was a super tough game back in the day. I actually did complete that one originally, but that was one that gave me fits back in the day. And then you guys remember the Oregon Trail?
I didn't really play that much, or maybe barely.
You guys never had the Oregon Trail at school, huh? They had the Oregon Trail. I remember taking a computer class like in middle school or something like that. We had our computer lab. It wasn't a class. You just they had a room with like 4 computers. It was off the side of the library. And they had the Oregon Trail game, was like one of the only games we had on it. And it was like this, adventure story. It was like a text, it's a DOS game. And it was like impossible. I mean, it was just, you literally, you got points at the end. It was, I mean, there was like no complete. And I don't know anybody that ever completed, because you would die of starvation or dysentery or cholera.
Yeah.
It was just like this impossible.
I think She-Wolf had brought that up. I think she beat it, but
Really? Wow. Well,
yeah, I had to tweet her about that. Yeah.
Yeah, they did have a different. They later on came out with a different version. I think that was a little bit easier, so you could. But that was definitely that game. We actually had my first computer was an Apple II, and I had that game on there too, and it was just. I mean, you could play it 100 times and never, might get. It was just about getting lucky, and that game was just almost impossible. And yeah, I don't know, Castlevania games. Those were like Castlevania.
Yeah, the night, man.
I'm trying to think of what else. Yeah, I think the Trials Fusion games. You guys are the Trial series, the Trial Frenzy.
Oh yeah, Trial.
No,
Yeah.
I've heard they're the shit.
The what?
I've heard they're the shit.
Yeah, some of those, man, they get tough.
Yeah, you get to the first couple levels and you're like, oh yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I can get this, and then all of a sudden it's like the learning curve just goes whoosh. What? Like I'm getting gold medals on everything, and all of a sudden I can't even finish this level. I don't know. That's probably those are the ones I can remember anyway. That more recently, I guess, would be that Super Meat Boy. You guys ever try that one?
Yeah, I've heard
arcade game on 360. That game was almost impossible. I never did finish that one. I got mad. I don't have the patience. Like same with you, man. I took Dark Souls. I think I got it for free. It was in a bundle or something on PC. I thought, I'll give it a try. It can't be that bad. Oh, screw that game. I was like, and that other one too, that it was Games of Gold, I think, a while back, that Lords of the Fallen or Lord of the Fallen.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was another one. It was like that one I did a little bit better, but it was like the second boss I got to on that one. I was just like, screw it. What am I doing? It sucks. Yeah, impossible.
Well, I mean, a couple games going way back with the Ninja Gaidens. Y'all think those were? You got Black and then the original one.
The only one I've ever played is a Ninja Gaiden 3, and that's
Ghosts and Goblins.
And that's made me hard because I will try to play it on hard, and well, not going well, but be a pussy and knock it down.
How about Silver Surfer? Did you guys play that on Nintendo?
No, I never did play that one. I heard that one was tough, but I never did.
I think I did, but man, sometimes I go back. I have to ask my brother. Yeah, it's 2 years younger than me. I'm like, hey, do you remember? Did we play this or that Nintendo? Because
Yeah, man. You can only remember so many games. You know,
I know.
Especially if you've been playing since NES or Atari. It's like you always remember the most memorable ones, but you could play 1,000 games. Half of them you won't remember.
Absolutely, I can only remember my recent ones.
So, Witty, what do you got on your list?
Well, I got 2 lists because I went for like hard as shit, even on easy. Like, so I got a little category there, and then because you know me, I'm an achievement hard, and I've got to play a shit ton of games, and I just end up playing them on like one playthrough, like on hardest setting. And I know it's not the best thing to do, but well, fuck it, it's it's what happens. So on my hardest shit list, I've got Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising, and that was just an absolute fucking piss take. You could hardly see enemies. There were just little dots in distance, and they just used to fuck you up. Well and truly, they're just becoming like sending SAS fucking forces after you, and they'll be flanking you to fuck, and you'll be just dead in no time. You had this team that, you could like give all these fucking orders. I've never seen a game give you as many options to tell people what to do as that game. I'm telling you, they're realistic to fuck, man. But there was one point in it where it took me about fucking 6 or 7 hours to like do this one bit, because like you had to defend this building, and if you weren't actually in the building, you'd fail the objective and have to start again. And even if you're in there, they just send that many people, and you try and shoot them all as they were running through fields to you. And like, you do your best, kill as many as you could. And then they'd be creeping upstairs behind you. And you'd have basically the next to no cover, like just this little shitty like wooden bit of cover, and it would an absolute piss take, that game, the whole way through it. You know, even if you like mastered how to order your like mates about and this, that, and other, you'd still, trust me, if you want a actual life like sim shooting game, that is a game you want to play. But maybe just play it on easy.
I only got a chance to like play like one Flashpoint game. I thought they were pretty. I never really dug into them as much as I probably should have.
There's plenty of other fucking hard moments, like when you come up against tanks and that, like you're basically pretty fucked. Yeah, they don't fuck about on that game. It's proper realistic to fuck you. I don't think you've got like any HUD or alt like that. I think maybe you get a like directional thing and that, this, that, and other, but apart from that, they don't give you that much assistance in that game.
Yeah.
And after that, I've got Borderlands 1 and 2 if you try to play them on solo, which I did. I played them both all the way through on solo, and it wasn't like it were too bad. It's just I found you had to be like at least 2-3 levels ahead of like the recommended level for you doing like all these missions, and even then it'd be a piss take. Yeah, having to fucking rely on that, like what is it that you'd kill someone if you were down but not out and you'd get revived. Even that wouldn't work half at the time. You know, they just totally and fucking I don't know, hand your ass to you on multiple occasions, you know, with the amount of enemies there is. And then what pissed me off about it even more is when I found out the loot system were basically bullshit. Where the old system were, if you were playing online, with like the mode that you were playing online, so basically if you're playing in a 4-playing session, you'd get better loot for defeating the bosses than you would, or even just normal enemies, you get more, you know, better loot drops if you were playing in co-op. Whereas if you were playing in solo, it'd just be white shit and this and other, and it just did not make sense.
I didn't know
like
that.
If it should be the other way around.
Huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, I'm
absolutely.
telling you, I checked it out, and you know, there's plenty of like fucking things on there, and it'll tell you about it. And there's basically more percentage chance for you to get better loot drops on, you know, if you're playing online with people rather than if you're playing on your own. To me, it didn't make any sense because it should be the other way around. You know, you're already making the game harder for yourself by playing it on solo, and all enemies are just coming straight for you. You know, people just fly through that, you know, and fucking in co-op, don't they? You know, like it's nothing. But I'm telling you, try play it solo and then then tell me how you feel about that game. And then going back some, I even made my top 5 fucking devs and games of all time. It's Max Payne. They were pretty damn hard.
I played the first one.
Yeah, those are fun though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I love Max Payne, man.
Yeah.
But if you like jumped and you'd fucking
Wait.
jumped a long time and you couldn't get a shot on anyone, by the time you've landed and recovered and got back up, you're basically fucked. Which, yeah, don't get me wrong, that's all based on my stupid jumping, but game's all based around that, isn't it?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Then I'll switch to my other list as well, right? I've got my hard, just because I'm being achievement or and having to play them on hardest difficulty. Like Gears of War 1, 3, and Judgment. The endings to them games were, well, Judgment were basically nigh on impossible if you selected that I can't remember, declassified mission, which makes the level even harder. That's the only one that I've had to utilize the Gears of War glitch trick, where if you're playing in like co-op, like one of you can play on hardest setting and one can play on easiest setting, and like you can fucking glitch it that way, so that one of you gets credit for completing on insane. You know, because that boss, I'm telling you, it were all right to start with. You know, just hiding behind things, but every time they keep sending more and more enemies, you know, boss will go off screen, you know, where you can't do any damage to him. And it got to the amount of times I got right to the last like wave, and he'd go off the screen, climb up wall, you couldn't do any damage to him. And he'd send all his boys. He's got turbo guys, mulchers, grinders, fucking God knows what else, all coming at you. And then every so often he does this attack where he sends this fucking like missile thing off at you, and if you're not running, or at least dodging out wait time, then you're basically dead in 1 hit. And it's like it takes you like 15 minutes to get to that point. As it is, so it's like I had to fucking fuck it off first time I played that game.
So how many controllers did you throw?
I didn't fucking break any. I don't think. You know, I got pretty good at not chucking my controllers anymore.
See, at least back in the day on Nintendo, if you did throw it, you had the wire on it, and then you just like, oops, let me bring that back before it hits something.
Yeah, like a boomerang.
Yeah.
Slap inside your head.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gears of, apart from second one's only disappointment had been ending because it was just too easy. But Gears of War 1 had a fucking hard as fuck boss as well. That fucking Ram at end, he were a cunt. You know, and then 3, that woman who were climbing up that spire, you know, and all it was same as, it's kind of similar to Judgment, where every so often she sends all these fucking guys and they're ones that fuck you up. But thankfully with that one you could run round this big circle, like get enemies to follow you down to the bottom end, and then by the time she were doing her attack on this spire you could just like go back round and fuck her off and dig in for a bit longer, go for another run round. That boss would have come there. And then after that, Halo. The only Halo I've tried to play on Legendary solo, Halo Reach, and well, I give up halfway through it. Just basically because, you know, enemies would just keep getting the shields back and I'd keep running out of ammo. Like,
I bet you playing that on Legendary Halo Reach was probably like playing Horde mode throughout the whole thing.
Do it like first playthrough, you know, solo, man. Like the amount of bits that I got through, I remember this with this hill bit. I had to assault up this hill and that, and I kept having to dig in. It took me about 2 hours just to get up this hill. That was first pain in the ass bit. Well, maybe it wasn't first absolute pain in the ass bit, but we want to remember most of all. And then I were all right until I got to this mission where you had to, there'd just been a space battle, and then you had to drop through this like skylight into this room. Took me about an hour or so to get through this first room because we were like next to no cover. And I've got later in ship. And I decided to skip loads of these enemies like on way to this other battle because I thought, well, fuck it, I can do. You know, I'll just run through. But it wasn't until I got back and I had to go back through this room again. And it was just pissing me off because I had a decent cover, you know, I was able to shoot an enemy, you know, without out of cover. But then every time I'd get all his shield down and then start working his way on his health, he'd run off like a pussy and just hide like totally out of sight where you couldn't get him. You know, and like maybe someone else would pop out and it's like, I've got no ammo now, what the fuck am I supposed to do? So yeah, I had to just give up on that difficulty. It was just too much. I can't even remember if I even finished game after that.
That's why you need a partner to jump on that one with you. Do Legendary.
I don't know. I've got it in my. I think I've got it downloaded.
Yeah.
And then, have you ever played Quantum of Solace? I bet you haven't played it on hardest difficulty, have you?
Was that the 007 game?
Yeah. Which is both. What is it that both first 2 films that Daniel Craig did? It's got like bits from both of them. And that game was just hard as fuck. I basically had to get through that game just by blind firing the entire way through it. Thankfully, it had a good blind fire mechanic where you actually, you know, I'd still had the same aim and it were nice and easy to fucking pop people. But if you tried aiming and shooting at people, you'd just be dead instantly, especially if there were like 2 or more people shooting at you. Yeah,
I vaguely remember that one. Didn't that one have some driving levels and stuff to it?
Oh yeah, it was a pretty damn good game, man. I've loved loads of 007 games. You know, even going back to PS2 and that. But I don't think back then I tried playing them in the hardest setting straight away.
Yeah. Did you get the girl at the end?
Yeah, man. That bit at end was worse.
It's not proper if they didn't show you with the woman at the end.
No, I'm telling you, in Quantum of Solace, a little bit at end was worse because you have to assault this factory and that let you get in there, and then I ended up in this room, and there's all these guys on this balcony shooting down at me. All these guys try to fly at me, and I'm there. I can't aim down fucking sight at gun. I've just got to fucking blind fire people, you know, even on balcony and that, like fucking pain in the ass. I basically just hid behind this fucking table or some shit, but I got it in. You know, and after that, I've got Bioshock Infinite 1999 mode. And if you want to play that, I'd suggest every time you follow the collectibles guide and go for them. Like I can't remember what they're called now, but you got choice of like whether to upgrade your health, magic, or you got this little fucking bar. Basically, you want to get this little armor bar all the time, because that's basically how you can get through that game. Once you max that off, you just live on your resprouting fucking like health, just keep to cover and that. But that was pretty damn good game. That, you know, pretty underrated.
Yeah.
I don't get why people hate that game as much as they do. Because for me, out of all games, that fucking like just rounded up story pretty good. You know, had a right ending that. And I've got to mention Call of Duty World at War. You know, because of grenade slinging bastards. On difficulty, it's like they've just got they've never had grenades before, so they're making best use of them while they've got them. They think they're going out of fashion. I'm telling you, at one point I had like 10 grenades come after me, like one after another, and I kept throwing them back, and then like 2 come over at the same time, and basically fuck all I could do. Even if I run away, I was dead. And then there were a bit right towards end. It was just before last mission, like right end at penultimate mission. And you had to enter the right stag. You had to get through these 3 fucking like artillery things. You had to fucking go up to them, stop them from doing the shit and that. I got the first 2 done pretty easily. Got a checkpoint like right one more, and then it would get into this last one. It was basically nigh on impossible, because if you don't push up in that game, the enemy, your boys don't push up. And the whole game has got just respawning enemies totally. They just don't stop coming unless you can push up. And even then, they'll keep coming, kind of. You know, getting to this 3rd fucking artillery turret, you know, to get it taken out and, you know, get in that place. That were probably one of the hardest things I've had to ever do on a COD game.
Nice.
Like I said, most of mine have just been basically because, you know, I've been playing on hardest difficulty because that's how I've got to do it.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't have good memories of like older games. You know.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that a lot of these older games would be like a lot easier nowadays with the amount of help you can get online.
Nah, I don't know. Those older games like the NES, you know, that first sort of generation, those games were based off of arcade games that wanted, you know, so they were made to be impossible so they could get you to put in more quarters.
Yeah, man. That's how they kept you at the cabinet.
Exactly.
Well, they definitely weren't story driven.
No.
Nice. Let's see. All right. I'll keep mine.
Fastback's got to have #1 serial
Uh,
cleaner.
No. It did kind of piss me off, but I did beat it. Mine's gonna be a little short and sweet. So I'm gonna start with my #1. I don't know if you guys ever played it. Back in NES days. It was called Nightshade. I don't know if you guys.
I think I've heard you talk
about. I brought it up before, and
yeah.
I've asked Crazy One to put it on Rework, but I don't. Not sure if he's has it on his list yet, but you know, like a quick deal about it. See, when did it come out? It came out about 92, and it kind of had a few features on it. Like it had one feature. Well, of course, you're some kind of action hero, spy, whatever, and in the city. The main hero was taken out, so they had a couple of crime lords. Big crime lord came in and took over. So he has his sub guys that you have to go through before you get to him. And so while you're trying to take care of different levels, you also had a popularity meter. And so to find out how well you did, you know, I guess the population would, you know, your meter would go up and down. And so sometimes if your meter went up higher, that allowed you to get to certain areas. I kind of remember that a little bit vaguely. So it was kind of, you had to worry about that too, if you want to unlock some areas. But also, and I remember this too, is that it didn't have a save feature or extra lives. It had some kind of deal where whenever you went back into the game, you started off in like a death trap, right? So it was kind of you had to solve a puzzle to get out of a trap. So you had to do that every time you started the game.
Crazy.
And I remember there was this one trap where you had it was kind of similar to the way, remember in New Hope, where the damn trash compactor was kind of closing in and you had to get the pole, where there was this deal where you had to look around and look for the right pieces and, you know, make a pole. But it took a while because you just couldn't, you know, it was kind of difficult at first. You know, it's kind of hard to find the right pieces and put them in the right order. But the main reason why I picked that is the hardest one, because when I finally got to the main guy, I just could not beat his ass. And the game, it was an action adventure, but it had also like quick time responses in a way. So, you know, and of course, kind of like Cuphead, the more you do it. But the bad thing about that is like when you lost, it sent you back to the beginning. When you lost to the main boss. So you had to go through everything over again.
Oh,
so, and you know, of course, the more you do it, you kind of remember, you know, how to get here and there and get through. But I kind of got tired because I lost him a few times. So that's definitely one of those games that I want to go back and take care of it before I can't play games anymore. So I can be satisfied. And maybe I'll throw in a couple more. Mega Man, I know Mega Man were kind of tough. A lot of those games from NES days, you know, Contra and so on. But I had a brother that's 2 years younger than me, and so we used to take turns. You know, if there was one area I couldn't do, he was better at, he'd jump on it, and we'd take turns. So
yeah,
we did beat a lot of games because of that. Of course, we did do the cheat code on Contra, but we did. I'm pretty sure we beat it. But. So yeah, definitely. You know, you think back, a lot of those games. I do want to give me a mini, SNES mini, and you know, just kind of relive some of those games. And I do eventually. I want to get a regular, an old school SNES, and build up that collection.
Yeah,
so that's my goal. You know,
yeah. I still have an original NES. I don't have a Super Nintendo, but I still have my original NES.
Yeah, and you know what? I might have some in my mom's storage. So she probably don't even know where it's at, so I'd have to go over there and take a look. So me and my brothers were talking about that. We're like, well, whoever gets to it first gets it. So we'll see. Hopefully, I can beat them to it. But yeah, that Nightshade is y'all should look it up. You know, Google it one day or whatever. But hopefully, I can get Juan to try it out and then throw it on the Retrowick. So, and of course, Cuphead kind of brings back a lot of that. You know, you just want to keep playing it over. I think the other night, I kept playing it until I want to go to bed until I beat that one stage. I think it was the blue ball guy. I wouldn't go to bed. I had to beat it. So, and it's weird, like the one with the flower. When I was trying it the first time, I couldn't get past the damn flower. So I took a break, came back a couple of days, jumped on it, and I beat it pretty quick. So it's just funny how that works.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need that break.
Yeah, sometimes you just need that breather, man.
Yeah.
You know, relax your mind, and you know what I mean? Because you know what you're doing when you're playing it. You know what I mean? It's just like, damn, you know, I messed up right there.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, then you come back to it the next time and just boom.
Yeah.
If you're too tired, your reactions aren't as good. I've been through that plenty of times. But I feel for you, I'm the same. I don't like go to sleep until I've done it.
All right, so we're going to jump out of, before it gets too late, we're going to jump out of the hardest games, and then we're going to jump on the October games.
Some big ones.
Yeah, man.
Like I was saying earlier, October is fire. This list is...
Shit, it's already been. I mean, this whole month from start to finish.
Well, I mean, we'll start. Forza 7 started it off.
Chill out. Calm down.
You know, I know Coop, me, you, and Witty have been playing it. I don't know. Are you interested in the Motorsports, B?
Yeah, like I've always been like a sim racer fan. Yeah. I usually pick up Motorsport, but I'm actually trying to hold off because I'm still like tossing up, still in the air if I'm going to pick up the X day one or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if I pick up the X, that's definitely the game that I'm picking up with it. And I didn't want to spoil myself like playing it and then, you know what I mean, get the X like later. So I'm still up in the air if I'm gonna get the X, but that'll definitely be my day one purchase. If I don't pick up the X, I'm gonna go ahead and get Forza 7. Like I said, I like the Motorsport series over the Horizon series. You know what I mean, just because I like actual driving. You know what I mean? I want to be on a circuit. You know what I mean? I like the competition that it brings. I don't want to like drive a BMW M3 off road. You know what I mean? I want to drive a McLaren off road. You know what I mean? That's not my idea of fun. You know what I mean? When I think about race cars,
it's just annoying missing them fucking checkpoints all the time. It's me on
yeah, you know. So I want to be on the circuit. I want to be on the track. You know what I mean? I want to feel that competition. I want to, you know what I mean, be able to, once those lights hit, you know, rev that engine and go. So I've always been a fan of Motorsport. So I'll definitely pick up 7 sometime soon.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. And I skipped 4 and 5, so I was ready to jump back on Motorsport when the 7 came out. So regardless, with all the loot deal, you know, and I didn't do VIP. I don't really do all that stuff. So none of that stuff bothered me. And really the mods in there and all that stuff, it really does not affect anything.
Well,
I mean, I think
you can't really complain.
Yeah,
I think the one thing that probably made me hold off on it, picking it up, is just because I used to play with like a lot of people online, Motorsport, and then like so many people just went over to the Horizon series. Yeah, and like I pick up Horizon, but you know, like I said, it's just not for me. So a lot of people didn't return to Motorsport once Horizon came over. So it's nice to see that more people are playing Motorsport. It gives me an option, you know what I mean, a couple more people to play with.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But yeah, I mean, once you get it, you see us on it too. So
yeah,
like I said, anytime you see us on there, and just jump in. And we every once in a while we plan on trying to stream that too. So
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see what else is on the list. Battle Chasers, and I heard a couple of people talking about this. That was isn't that indie one? Was it Battle Chasers Night Wars? Isn't that one that's kind of like
Battle Chasers is made by why can't I think of it?
some of the guys that came out from Criterion, right?
It's like a group of guys from different backgrounds that kind of put that game together. Took the comic book and made it the actual game.
Yeah.
But I can't for some reason I can't remember who the publisher is, but the publisher has actually put out a great deal of games. And Battle Chasers is just one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually held off on that too, just because I'm waiting for it to come to the Switch.
Yeah,
I think that's like the perfect game for Switch.
It's funny how some games are just they just and going off on the next one on the list, which makes sense, is Stardew Valley.
Yeah,
coming on Switch, which is already on the Switch, but I played that one on the Xbox.
That's a great Switch game.
It is. Yeah, and I think the dev said the Switch is going to be the first one to have multiplayer.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
multiplayer.
Yeah. He said that to where you can have someone else come into your game and you can
neighbor.
I think so. I guess. I don't know. I have to look more into it. I was kind of interested in that. I wouldn't mind doing that with my oldest daughter. We talked about that. We used to play Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
So it's a fun little game to pick up and kind of relax. What's next? Hat in Time. Anybody? What's that? Anybody hear about that? A Hat in Time.
I heard about that. It looks like a pretty interesting platformer.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is actually slated to come to Switch as well. It's not. I don't think it's coming this year. I think it's early next year. I want to say.
Yeah.
But I'm interested in that as well. It looks, nice little animation, cute art style. So I'll probably definitely check it out.
Yeah. We got Dragon's Dogma, Dark Horizon.
Oh yeah. Did you guys play Dragon's Dogma when it was on 360 PS3?
No, yeah, I never did.
It's all right. It just pissed me off that you couldn't fast travel. Everywhere. It's like if you got to do a fucking RPG, fucking open world thing, you got to have a fast traveling. If you've discovered somewhere, you should be able to beam there. Even if there's like Oblivion, Skyrim, there's like time penalty, like time passes. Yeah. So, yeah,
definitely in a big open world game. Definitely.
Weird. Then pawns, they call them, and you can even buy people's like creations online and that. But some people have made some like shit out fucking like characters to take around with you. You're like companions, and you can go and buy them for I can't remember how you buy them, but you get points in game or some shit.
Yeah, the pawns. Yeah, the pawns are pretty cool because they kind of mimic your actual character. So if you're like one of those guys who is always scavenging, trying to look for stuff, the pawn will do that too. If you're somebody who quickly attacks enemies or whatever, the pawn will do that too. So it's a pretty nice system. I just wish there would have been some multiplayer aspect to it, along with the pawns.
Yeah, co-op would have been great for it.
Yeah,
especially when you're having to run everywhere and you can't fast travel. It would have been nice to have someone else doing it with you.
Right.
Let's see, what next one? 3DS game. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. Bowser's Minions. No.
Never on the 3DS.
But I have one, but the Zelda edition one.
Better than yours.
And of course, next one is Middle-earth Shadow War, which
awesome
Coop has been playing.
Yep.
So I guess real quick, Coop, the loot system in there. I kind of heard that sometimes the loot is not really worth it in the game. that you get for free?
I got they give you, and I didn't do the deluxe edition or anything. I just got the standard version or whatever.
Yeah.
They gave me like this starter pack thing or something. So I did get, I think it was just like they give you like a chest and a couple followers or something that I'm not even to the point in the game where I actually even get the followers yet.
Yeah.
And I was, I love the Nemesis system. I just love going around fighting captains. That was like my favorite thing from the first one. And so that's kind of what, I started out the game. I must have played just like 5 hours straight, just fighting captains. I didn't even do a story mission. I just, and like doing that, I mean, I maybe leveled up twice. Like you only get XP. I mean, you get XP obviously from the story missions. But it used to be like you would, level up just fighting. I mean, just as around. Now it's only like in, when you fight a captain or when you fight, or you do like the duels or whatever, just, you can just watch a duel and get XP doing that or whatever. But it's not much. And it just felt really slow. I mean, I was just amazed at like, I'm looking at my thing going, God, it's the level. I think the level cap is like 20 or something like that. And here I was 5 hours in playing, and I was like level 3. I'm just going, man, this is.
You need to fly through that story till you get that branding ability.
I do. Actually, I've almost got the branding ability now, and that is the key. You do have to.
That was my problem with first one. I remember the amount of times I was running about trying to take out them, guys like you were on about fucking captains or whatever.
Yeah.
Like mini bosses. And you'd get spotted by an enemy. You'd say, "Oh, look, there's 2 enemies here. I'll be all right. Little fight this, And then before you know it, you've got about fucking 10, 15 enemies coming after you. You've got a boss there, and you're like, "Fuck this."
Some of them calling reinforcements. Some of the captains
legging it.
Some of them calling
and then you get another fucking captain, and this boy fucking shoots you down, and you're like, "Fuck me, man." No, these cunts just keep following you everywhere.
Yeah, I hope they still kept some of what was fun about like the first one where you run around and
the combat's fantastic.
Those camps.
Once you get that branding ability, and you can you can start branding captains. Just fight for you and send them off doing whatever. Fuck knows. That's the key. I think you just need to fly through story missions till you get that.
Yeah, well, that's what I've started, and you do. I think I'm level 8 now or something like that. And you do start. I've done a few of the story missions now. I'm on the second. Actually, then my next story mission is where you try to, take over one of these, the storm the gate or whatever. And I haven't, you've got to. That's where you start to get followers and all that kind of stuff. So that's like my next. So I'm almost there to that point. And hopefully it opens up a little more after that. But
yeah, I'm saying when I get an open world game though, I want to just go about and just.
Yeah, me too. I always like with Destiny.
Sometimes you got to like same with Assassin's Creed. It's like my mate were having issues with that, and it's like you got to get like further in story to unlock different abilities and this and other.
Yeah, I was like in Destiny. I'm in level 20 after I finished. I mean, I didn't do the story until after I was already level 20 and almost, level 20, power high, and it does kind of make some of the story missions a little easier and stuff. But I just kind of like getting, I like having my character just maxed out, set up, and then kind of going through the missions. That's what I was trying to do with this, but.
When I played Fallout 4, it took me 2 weeks to get to Diamond City.
Exactly, me too. Yeah,
basically, first place the one you go, just about.
Yeah, when the games give you the freedom to kind of take your time and hit the story, do those side missions. Yeah.
Yeah, they make it difficult now, and that was my only complaint is that you do have to kind of go through the story to progress it.
You think they kind of slowed the leveling up down a little bit for the loot crates?
It feels like it. I mean, I've got, like I said, several hours into it. I'm not even level 10 yet.
Do you still get a relic though every time you like kill one of them mini boss things, captains or whatever they're called?
Yeah, you get the loot system's changed a little bit now. You get weapons. You get weapons and gear. you know, there's different levels of captains.
As before.
Yeah, you get the different you know, so now they have epic gear, they have legendary gear, rare, you know, and then they have this gem system now. You can put gems, and you can also collect gems. There's certain just randoms. You know how before they had the guys that had a little green kind of circle above them that were, you know, could get intel or whatever. Now they have guys that are just white, and they have this little kind of hexagon above them, and those ones you can get gems or just the silver or whatever, or mithril or whatever from those guys, and you know, to upgrade weapons and stuff like that. And so yeah, it's good. I mean, I like the system, the weapon trees. I mean, the skill tree and stuff is pretty much the same. There's a few you can only like upgrade or, you know, use one skill tree at a time kind of thing. That was kind of weird, but yeah, it's, you know, pretty much all the, you know, if you like the first one, you're gonna love this one. I mean, yeah. It hasn't changed a whole lot. Even looks, I was actually, I'm excited to see it on the X, because the, you know, the graphics aren't, it's not a huge bump from the first one. It looks pretty similar. So I think of the, you know, the textures are, you know, still kind of plain and a little flat in areas and stuff, kind of muddy looking. But so I think it'll be really nice getting that X enhancement, and that'll be excited for that one for sure. But other than that, I mean, it's a great game. I'd recommend it.
Real quick, did your Nemesis carry over from the first one? Have you seen that yet?
From the first one?
Yeah, they said that I guess your main Nemesis from the first one would carry over, I guess, wherever killed you the most, or you had the hardest time with, I think.
Oh, I didn't know this. I don't remember. I would have to.
You'd have to go back and look. I don't know how you would, but I guess maybe. So I'm curious about that too.
I just remember about that Nemesis. It's the Nemesis system that eventually they run out of people to give you, and they keep giving you the same people over and over again.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, definitely I'm going to jump on that. Maybe not right away, but shit. And then now, here next week, well, no, this Friday, tomorrow is Evil Within 2. Anybody picking that up?
Well, it's fucking available. It's been available for 12 minutes.
Yeah. For you.
Shame I don't have them funds.
Yeah.
But no, after what I saw over there, that game looks shit hot. Speaking about this before, I like watching this. Well, it was the Bethesda sanctioned stream, so obviously, you know, tech has it what you will. You know, it was this Towley guy fucking streaming it, and it looked pretty good. He was going to like on chapter 3, and I think there's about 14, 15 chapters, something like that, to the game.
Yeah, I'm not big on this
big street that we're going down, and you've got like this. A new feature, you've got like this walkie-talkie thing, and you like tune in, it'll like give you little side missions and whatever, you know. Or you can even like he robbed this body as part of one mission, and then he told him he had to go pick up these, you know, like different supply caches or whatever.
I wonder if it's kind of like Silent Hills in a way, just the feel of it.
That's what it fucking kind of reminded me of, that like what I liked about like the old Silent Hills, like I think it was Silent Hill 2 where that guy.
Yeah, I enjoyed playing at Silent Hill.
Like City or whatever. Obviously, it's probably not got to be as big as that, but you know, there's plenty of chapters to that game, so I reckon it's still got to be like a good 15-20 hour game.
Do y'all think that Bethesda should have released this at the same month as Wolfenstein? I mean, I'm sure it's a decent game, but it may not do as well with all the games out this month, you know?
It's a couple weeks apart, though.
You know, Ubisoft have done it for the last 2 years of released 2 games at the same time. You know,
yeah.
You know, and I reckon, well, they've got to do the same next year as well, aren't they? With Far Cry 5 Crew 2.
Yeah, so, I'm sure there'll be a couple months between, yeah.
I think having a Friday, or you know, Friday the 13th October release is pretty good.
It does, yeah. It does make sense. It should, yeah.
And the two totally separate, like different games, aren't they? That appeal to different set of people.
Well, like you know, I was hearing on another podcast is that they don't really see a lot of
like promotion for the game.
yeah. I mean, you know, of course, we all saw it when they showed
Yeah.
E3, and it's
Well,
been on our radar, but you know,
Well, what made me wary of it at E3 though, because they didn't really show any gameplay at E3, but
yeah, they just
afterwards
showed the
on
trailer.
yesterday, you know, it's definitely bumped my hype levels up for that game.
Yeah. Next one on the list is Gran Turismo Sport. So that's next week. Any of you guys, B, are you gonna check that out?
Yeah, I'm definitely getting GT Sport.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for GT to come to PlayStation for a while, so
Yeah.
I'm definitely there. I played in the beta.
Uh-huh.
He remembered that I am a Honda boy, so
Okay.
of course my first car was a Honda. You know what I mean? So they did me right, man. Hit me with the R-Type. So you know what I mean? I had to go ahead and pick up GT Sport.
So how is it? What do you?
I think it's pretty good, man. I really enjoyed the little time demo that they have for it.
Mm-hmm.
It controls pretty well. It looks pretty good. I mean, the graphics could be slightly better, but I mean they're fine for what they are compared to, you know what I mean, other racing games that are out right now. So I'm enjoying myself.
Does it still have the used car lot?
Yeah.
Or did they do? You know, I've always that's why I love, you know, the first two is like, all right, I can give me a used car to start off with, and then kind of fix it up and, you know, grind it out. So yeah, I always loved that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna check this game out too. I love the Gran Turismo Sports back in the day, and
Gran Turismo.
I really hope that this does well, and then they keep, you know, working on it for the next one. Just keep improving. I want to see Gran Turismo Sport go on the competition with Forza and push each other, so that we can get the best from both. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, I think there's you'll see a little bit of that with sport. I think a lot more people are talking about it more than
they are
than ever would, especially with Forza 7 being right there as well. You know what I mean? A lot of people are comparing the two games. So I think this is good for polyphony. I just hope that they can, because they said that this is not, I think this is, they released GT6 already. So GT7, they said this is not GT7. GT7 is still, you know what I mean, coming. So hopefully this is, you know what I mean, just that stepping stone, and, you know.
It's like the prologues. Remember when they would do the prologue?
Yeah, when I used to do the prologue for like 5 and stuff. So
what is taking them so long though?
Yeah, that's the thing I just don't understand. I don't understand why it takes them, you know, 10 years to release a damn game.
Well, no, what I don't get is why they released Gran Turismo 6 after the launch of the PS4, but it were only on PS3. That's what I don't get. It's like, now the fuck does that make any sense? And why couldn't they have just ported Gran Turismo 6 to the PS4? Surely it couldn't have took that long.
Yep, I said the same thing, man. If you look at the last year of the PS3, if they would have took all those games that they released, because they released some big stuff the last year of PS3, and just made those launch games on the PS4 or the first year of the PS4.
Yeah, but at least with like Last of Us remastered it or whatever.
Yeah.
And released it, but why couldn't they just done that with Gran Turismo and appease the like racing fans rather than persevering with that? Well,
yeah, see, like
a fucking drive club that like crashed and burned on its own bullshit.
Yep, GT6 should have been a launch game. Drive Club could have been something that came later on. But like, if you look at just other stuff that released on PS3, you know what I mean, and in 2013, like you had Ni no Kuni, you know what I mean, you had Puppeteer. They had a bunch of games that released like the last year of the PS3 that should have been launch titles, or at least within the first year of PS4. They continue to make that mistake with the PS3, and you know what I mean, they're trying to right the ship with the PS4, but in my opinion, they're still making some mistakes. You know what I mean, they could be more beneficial if they righted the ship. So,
well, hopefully, you know, Gran Turismo Sport does, like you said, it builds up that fan base again. People start talking, so hopefully that gets them, you know, hey, we got to get, you know, 7 right.
Right.
You know, bullshit mod.
Hopefully it comes out soon.
That one where it were like you were managing a guy and you were like telling him to do what to do during race. That just didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder too if they're going to wait on 7 until the PS5. You know,
I mean, it's definitely possible. You know,
they're going to run sport for a little while, couple years. You know.
Yeah, because I think PS5 is out by 2020.
Yeah, so if they repeat and release GT7 in 2019, but don't put it on the PS5, they're it wouldn't make sense. But I guess we'll find out. But I'm glad it's back, and like I said, I want to see them push Forza. I love Forza Motorsport. I think them coming out with Horizon was a good break from Motorsport. But I want to see Forza Motorsport have a little bit more innovation. So they've done well, but I want to see more.
Yeah, I think that I feel the same way. You know what I mean? I feel like they continue to add cars and things like that, but they can definitely add more features as far as being able to tune your car and things like that.
Yeah,
that you find in other games. So what I mean? Both series can improve in one way or another, but I think they're both pretty solid. So
yeah. Let's see. Let's jump on. Next game is Rogue Trooper. Anybody any word on that?
That looks good. I love Rebellion, man. It's one of my favorite developers.
Oh yeah, I do like Rebellion. Yeah,
been out helping you out.
Huh. And then after that, October 17th. Well, they both come out. Shit, you got a lot of games coming out that day, October 17th.
Yeah.
You got South Park, Fractured Butthole.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Day one purchase.
Yes.
Sure. WWE 2K18.
Try not to slip on your fist.
Which my brother will probably pick that up, so I'll talk to him about that.
And I'll wait for the vault on that one.
Yeah. Age of Empires Definitive Edition, which of course is going PC. I kind of wonder if they will later on.
If on 17th.
The what?
Oh, 4 guys, 10 minutes.
17th, and it's called Alex.
Yeah, Alex. Yeah, that looks awesome.
Yeah,
that looks pretty
GHQ
good.
Nordic.
It a bit of fucking AAA polish, but if you've ever played games and you like them, then definitely pick it up. Or if you it's the same dev as the original 3 Gothics, so it should be pretty good.
Piranha Games or something like that. What's I can't remember the.
Piranha Bytes.
Piranha Bytes.
Yeah.
They're pretty alright, Dev. Just not AAA, like it's like AA or whatever, but there's plenty of AA's that are pretty good games.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah. Next one is for Switch is Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem Warriors. Can't wait, man. If you play Hyrule Warriors, which was on the Wii U, that was a pretty solid game.
Yeah.
I mean, if you play the Dragon Quest Heroes games, on PS4, it's in that same vein. I mean, a lot of people think of Dynasty Warrior games when you look at them, but a lot of the Hyrule Warriors and this game adds a little bit more story to it, along with the just standard beat 'em up stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. I've always been a fan of Fire Emblem characters, so that's definitely on my radar. I'll probably pick that up day one, to be honest.
Yeah. Destiny 2 on PC on the 24th.
Siberia is also hitting on Switch on the 20th too, right? I don't know much about that one, but
I'm not sure. Just Dance, I know that's on you guys' radar. 2018.
Oh, pre-ordered. Yeah.
Of course, and then
get your freak on.
The big day of the month is October 27th, which we have Assassin's Creed Origins, Super Mario Odyssey, and Wolfenstein 2 New Colossus. So
it's a home run day right there.
I know I think this came up when I was on BRAP with you guys.
Yeah.
So which of those 3 are you guys getting first that day? Day one.
Day one is Wolfenstein, man. Day one is Wolfenstein and Mario. Yeah. I gotta have both of those day one.
Yeah.
I don't own a Switch, so no Mario for me yet. But I've already got Assassin's Creed and Wolfenstein on order. So
okay.
Well, no Mario for me, not now, probably not ever.
Come on, Witty, come on.
And out of the two, I'm hoping, because I'm going to be a cunt with all these fucking games that are coming out this month. And seeing as I can't make a decision on which one's best, and because I love them all, I'm going to just rent them all and save myself some money. And I'm choosing Assassin's Creed and hoping my luck's in. That it gives me more chance to get it day one.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Assassin's Creed Origins day one, and
Yeah,
I think we'll probably try to get Mario Odyssey too.
Open world RPG like shit than Wolfenstein does. Wolfenstein's just a story-driven fucking Call of Duty type shit, you know. Which there's no wrong with that, but you know, it's only worth like a playthrough or two. I'd rather just have the big open world adventure first.
Yeah, it's fair enough. I mean, the greatest thing about that release date, though, is even if you wait a couple weeks, it's guaranteed that those games are going to be on sale.
Yeah,
Black Friday is right around the corner, so it's like you can dive into Assassin's Creed and enjoy it for a couple weeks, and then pick up Wolfenstein or Mario. You know what I mean? And still,
do
you
the
know what I mean?
Coop way. The Coop has seen the dark side, right? Don't buy your games digital anymore. Buy them on disc. Play them as quick as you can, and then get rid of that shit.
Well, that's why it's good to be with the Best Buy and Gamers Club.
yeah, plus they're so much cheaper.
A game on disc, and then you've took it into fucking like Best Buy 10 years fucking later, and they're giving you like 2 pence for it. Like fuck that shit.
No, there's too many games coming out. You can't wait 10 years to trade in your games, so you got to do it right away.
No,
pre-order the next one.
Wait like 6 to 9 months, and then they expect to get like $1 for this game, and they don't understand that. Best Buy, and there's a shop that I go to all the time, CEX. The used game market is built on supply and demand. You know, so if you put your game for fucking months, then you know you gotta get fuck all for it. It's just how it works.
Yeah. The only games that hold value are Nintendo games. So you could buy that game now and it probably trade it in for more than what you paid for it. So
yeah, it's same when it comes to games as well. Like they get related.
Like GTA 5
going back compat, and then you know they go up in price, and people wonder why. So that's supply and demand. It's how business works.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I waited after all that Red Dead fucking shit, and I waited about 9 months. And I picked up the Game of the Year edition for like £10. You know, which before that I think they bumped it up to about 20 odd. You know, but it went back to pre-announcement prices. You know.
All right, so the last game that everybody I know y'all been waiting for, it's gonna be the best game of the month, is Bubsby the Woolies Strike Back.
Oh yeah,
I know that's PS4 and PC.
I was gonna say, sadly, it's not coming to Xbox.
Maybe we can get some tweets online with the Xbox box cover.
Where's the uproar about that one?
Yeah. Oh well.
And this month you cannot go without mentioning the Final Fantasy Comrades expansion release. I think on the 31st or the last week of October.
Okay. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, if you Final Fantasy 15 fans out there, Comrades does release this month. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, that's what I was
telling HDK and Coop and that I want to jump back on there when that does come out.
Me too.
So sweet. Yeah.
Nice. God, we gotta find the time though. Jeez.
Well, sir, I mean, like when we were talking the other day, me, you, us, and a couple of guys from the NOG, if we try to do it weekly and stream, we have to just put it on the calendar.
Yeah, you gotta get organized, man. You gotta set dates and times.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Shit, it's been a good show. Before we head out of here, definitely appreciate you jumping in with us. Definitely been wanting you on for a while. So
yeah, man. My kids' football season is starting to wind down. My oldest has 2 games left. My youngest season is over. So finally getting a chance to get on here, and I appreciate the invite.
Yeah, appreciate you having you, man. It's been great.
And maybe one day we can get the rest of the Brap guys. We had that one day we had Enrique and we had Eric on here for a little bit. You know, they both had to jump out. So definitely, you know, miss chatting with you guys. So, and you know, like I've always, you know, before I've always appreciated your, you know, just your laid back, common sense approach to gaming.
Yeah.
You know, you're all about just gaming, and it doesn't matter, you know, what it is, where it's at. So pretty much. So definitely enjoy your opinions on games. You know, like I know you know you brought to my radar not too long ago was Vampire, and I was hoping that was going to come out.
Yeah, man.
I think it was due this month, wasn't it?
No, it's supposed to come out in November, man.
November. Okay, that's right. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed when they announced that they pushed it back, but you know, if it makes it for a better game and you know gives more opportunity for people to play it, you know, they got to do what's right, you know, for them and the gamer. Because I think if it released in November, nobody would have bought it. You know what I mean? There would have been a small patch of people talking about it, but it definitely would have been overlooked. I think.
Same with Alex.
Yeah, you know.
Swallowed up to fuck, you know.
It's just gonna get swallowed on that day.
Yeah, man.
You know, as crazy as this month is, just imagine next year, that first quarter and the second quarter. You know, spring. It's gonna be crazy between you know Xbox, PS4, and the Switch. We don't even know what Switch games you know are gonna be coming out around that time. So
yeah, I was telling the rap guys that you know. This is the start, but we don't get a break, man, until hopefully summer. You know what I mean? It's nonstop right now. So we get that small break in December, but January kicks right back off. So
I'm kind of hoping that Sea of Thieves gets pushed to maybe when E3 is about to start, and then like you know that's something that people can play for the summer.
Yeah,
you know, because there's just way too many games, you know, in the beginning of the year. So,
date for me, you know, that'll dictate what else I play.
Yeah, backlog's gonna grow, that's for sure.
Who's got some good driving mechanics as well.
Yeah, I'm hoping that turns out better than the last one. So B, we can find you on Brap Wednesday nights, right?
Yep, Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Unfortunately, we didn't go on last night because you know our kids were sick and family was sick. So
I know mine too was sick. You had to stay home. So
yeah, you know it's that flu season. Everybody's you know catching colds and whatnot. So but yeah, you can find us Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. and then I'm also
on Tick.
On Tick, you know, and co-host the Tick podcast on Saturday nights at 10 p.m. So definitely come check us out. Tick podcast, TICGN.com, and check out the website. Yeah,
I'm kind of glad you guys moved that because, right, weren't you guys on Thursday?
Yeah, we were on Thursdays. Right? Yeah, Thursdays late night, and then we had a decent audience, but you know, we just felt you know Saturday was a better move for us, and we have some great response with it.
I think so. And also, I'll give a shout out to you guys. You know, like Fame, 2K, his podcast, and
W.F.C podcast is booming. And,
and Multiverse
with Anchorman and his crew, and shout out to the Iron Lords on Sundays at 11 a.m.
I was already watching them before they got on, and I was glad that GN added them to the group, so that was awesome.
Yeah. So
definitely enjoy those guys. And plus, also, I want to give a shout out to anybody. Definitely go check out Tick GN, and also you guys have a Patreon going on. And
yeah, man.
I was taking a look at that, so I was looking at doing a $2 one.
Yeah.
I was thinking also maybe doing the $3 one, so I can get Nicodemus or Fame to shout out my name on their show once in a while.
Yeah,
so, those guys are funny as shit, and I love it that Classic Gamer Girls on there.
Yeah,
I'm glad she came back for a little bit the last podcast, and hopefully I can meet those guys at PAX South. I met Nicodemus last year.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so definitely, hopefully meet Fame and of course I got you and Fame is also in our football league.
Yeah.
So I think I just beat you last week, didn't I?
Yeah, you did, man.
I had to get a win.
I was best roster out there, man.
Yeah.
but they didn't come through. So
when that bye week starts coming, that's when it gets a little rough sometimes. So
yeah.
So yeah, definitely enjoy your stuff, and Brap and Tick. So give shout out to all those guys. And I appreciate you coming on. Definitely have to get you back on. Man. Yeah. So Coop, what's going on, Coop? You got any last minute?
Oh, just great show again. Thanks, B-Money, for joining us. I want to give a shout out to Daz. Daz has got. I haven't been able to catch them live. I think it's what, Tuesday.
Daz, put your new podcast out on the. Put the link out. Yeah. To the Daz chat. Him and Sopsky.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Very entertaining.
Yeah. But
unfortunately, they go on when I'm still at work. But I definitely want to give him a shout out. And that's about it for me.
Witty, got any last thing?
Well, I'm just hoping fucking Royal Mail get the fucking act together and get me a game sent out when they should.
Yeah. So what's your next game you're going to be renting?
I am within games, and I've got to debate that decision tonight before I go to sleep.
Yeah.
Which is long from now.
Well, hopefully you get enough sleep. You can figure it out. So before we head out, it definitely was a great show. And, like we've always said before, we don't give a shit about all the console war and all that shit going on. So what do we say about that, Witty?
We don't fucking care as long as Royal Mail.
Oh, so there ain't no D in our W.F.C. Man, you need to slow down on that smoking.
Why am I paying £10 a month? And what the fuck's my game at?
Who fucking cares?
I've got to go play backlog games because they can't post my game out. Fuck off.
Bastards.
All right, everybody, thank you in chat. Mr. UK Daz and everybody that showed up, appreciate it. And anybody else that's gonna listen to us later, give us a sub, a like, and jump on chat whenever you can. Appreciate it, and leave us a comment.
Tell us your hardest game.
And of course, if anybody is interested in jumping on the show, just give me a DM or tweet me, Coop or Witty. So everybody's welcome. So as long as you're not a console warrior, it's all cool. So
I should have told you about my friend I saw over there. Someone, because with Forza's issues overnight.
Yeah.
I sent an Xbox support a message, didn't I? And that 3 days later, I got a message off this guy telling me that how many cars Gran Turismo 6 had it in. Like, what the fuck's this about?
Well,